And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well. And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins. And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Once again, they run with Breida on first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. On play action, they'll throw. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency. And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there. Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Second and 11. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And a short return to the 6-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball. No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing is Wilson. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2. Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation. Maybe just run up the middle? Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter, because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does. And he's got Lockett. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass. And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On second down now, it's Grant. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Corey Grant, 78 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after's up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now this time he'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to air one out. And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jakeem Grant, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, it's Wilson. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. A good pickup there, 21 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
He's going to rifle one deep left. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Greg Olsen, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Myers connects on the PAT. And it's now 21-7. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
On second down, a run with Breida. He'll have a first down past the 40 and bulldozing his way through. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Matt Breida, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. On first down, Grant fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Second and 9 now from the 21. Play action. Now Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Wilson going to lead his guys up first and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown. DK Metcalf. His second touchdown on the season. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. The fly route works for the TD grab.
And you know what the receivers love to say? If we get even with the defender, we're leaving. And that's exactly what he did all the way into the end zone. And then he was on the business end catching it once he got over the stripe.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like it.
He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. After the interception, here's Wilson. Dorsett making the catch. A gain of 6 there on first.
A 6-yard pickup brings up second and 4.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's second and 4. Now a give, right side. It's Grant, and he will take this one in for a touchdown. Corey Grant on his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And, oh, my goodness, this is nowhere close. Well to the right and no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You've got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
The last play got just a yard. Here's second and 9 from the 26. This is Breida. Oh, and now some space to operate. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Now a play fake here on first down. He'll get this into the hands of Breida, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vincent Mayowa, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. This effort won't do it. He needed to get to the 45. He's a yard or 2 short. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this will be scooped up by the defense.
All these years we've been watching the game, I'm starting to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Emmanuel Ogbah. He's the one who runs him down, and my goodness, that is just a disastrous loss for this offense. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he will take it in for the touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his first touchdown of the new season. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it.
Teams always want to send messages. I think that was quite a statement there to start the third quarter.
Yeah, less than a minute in. Already that quick, long strike. They are setting the tone for the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
8 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Set, ready. Pittsburgh. Here we go. Let's go, though. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's go.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28. Losing 4 yards that time. And now it's 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll run on first down. Grant. Jerome Baker there on the tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They go back to Grant. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to fourth down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss.
Let's go double count right here, double count.
They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that, and when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
He'll drop to throw. Check down to Breida. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 7-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it third and goal. They'll try to run it in. Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it'll be fourth down. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins are going to be forced to settle for 3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Big Shaq Lawson gets the sack there.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
To throw is Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
14, find it. We got double up.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. He's going to fire one deep. Middle of the... This is caught inside the 15. 39 yards there. A big one. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, but it'll be second down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Escaping the pressure right. That's complete to his running back, Grant. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it fourth down. And Myers able to knock it through, and that will make the lead now 26. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Come on now, let's go.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Brad McDougal. Johnson, the intended target. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
At the 23-yard line.
18. Short.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Wilson. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They go play action with Wilson. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 23 yards, the final tally. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Here's Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Under crunch. Kill. Hey, turn it up.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. He'll have a first down past the 40. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
They're going to look to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Durham Smythe, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And thanks to the interception, the Dolphins offense cashes in with 6. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that will shave one more off this lead. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think it might not be dialing that up again.
Well, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he trotted out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let them go out there with a little bit more confidence.
Now, what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns in a field. And it's caught. Touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. 2nd and 10. Going to throw right side here. Complete. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nazir Jones cruises in for the sack.
58, Mike, 58, Mike. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. Here's Matt Hawk now. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. Dorsett's got it. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A throw complete to Dorsett. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, it's Grant, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7.
14.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there, first down. They go play action here on first down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end. And, you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time. And they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for the home team here, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And now it's off to the airport for a date with Customs and a long flight north to the U.S. Meanwhile, for Miami, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.